Hello, George at Ninja Foodforest. Today I'm amending our soil with the biochar. The biochar has already been inoculated with 3 parts compost to 1 part biochar. I've crushed that biochar as small as I can, not micronized it, but made it as small as I can with just stamping it. I put it into a bucket overnight with water, some rainwater that we had, made sure everything was submerged in a wet slurry mix, stirred it as many times as possible. I've added fish emulsion and a few other things to that to help inoculate it. Again, we're taking those beneficial microbes and we're taking that and we're colonizing that porous surface. So it's doing the same thing when I add it to the soil here. It's using soil remediation and just in agriculture as a wonderful way to retain moisture, to retain more nutrients around it. If we were to make this biochar, just add it to the soil and not inoculate it, it might pull nutrients for the first couple of years. But still then eventually it's going to create that surface area for it to get better and better as the years went on. For thousand or more years even. So what we're doing is we're adding life for the extended period here. But by inoculating it first, I'm no master of this. Please go look up other videos. This is only the second time adding it. Once years ago, and I understand it a lot more now. We've been remediating the area after Helene, and so we're doing a lot of reading and viewing on it, making of it. I'm digressing. So anyways, so we've inoculated it. We've set it for almost 36 hours now. You probably hear it in this microphone. I'll grab a piece. Just how brittle that wood is. And the reason is we've taken all that and created just a carbon material out of it. We've created it at a low oxygen, high heat, removing anything but the carbon that was left in it, baking that out of it, and cooling it really quickly by drenching it with water. And drenching it with that water creates a lot of bubbles in there, expansion. So microscopic bubbles in there. I might digress here for too long, but just think of a pond. We talk about edge area, the edge effect, wanting more edge on our ponds for that water air effect, water ground effect. So we put little inlets on it. If you think of that, this is microscopic bubbles throughout. So we've created so much edge effect, so much porosity inside of this char. That's where these microbes colonize. They need that surface area. So I hope that makes sense. So I put trenches in the ground here, and I put holes over here. My microphone's broken, so I have to hold on to it. Using this T-handled, I have it marked about 8 inches, 6 to 8 inches. I've also used a hoe along here where I can put in these rows that aren't planted as heavy. There's some cover crops in here where onions and other things are planted. I've just gone along and made a checkerboard of holes. Then I'm taking the scoop and I'm filling the holes. Sister's very curious. That's not for you. Won't hurt you. You can eat biochar. I wish the guy from Living Web Farms that made it in the videos, he always samples it. So I'm just putting a nice little trench along there. Again, this is 3 parts compost to 1 part biochar. You can't overdo it, but I want to make this go as far as I can. Seems like one good scoop did 1 row there. But you don't need to see me doing this too much. I've already done in these holes. I'll fill all these holes, and I'll rake it gently back. Maybe put some on the surface, see how much is left. I'm going to go around to the food forest. And each guild has we'll call it a mother tree, a key species, a key tree in there. I'll go a circle around that, putting it deep in the soil and throughout. And there's a half acre to do. I'm George. This is Phat Ninja Foodforest. Change better than a holiday. Oh, I should end. We're also having our first class of the year, January 11th. It'll be on composting. We'll look at the many composting systems we have around here, and then our red wiggler breeding system that we have. It's what a treat it was to make this. Oh, it was a little more than 30 gallons of biochar, and be able to take more than 60 gallons. I said 3 to 1, so it was probably close to 90 gallons of compost and dump it on. I guess it might have been a little less than that. It didn't cost me a thing. All from taking our waste products on this property. Greenhouse, chicken waste, kitchen waste, garden waste, food forest waste. Composting it, and then putting it through a worm system. I know this video is about biochar, but the class will be about how we do that. Make sure that's a safe, simple, easy process where you're not worried about making a bad compost and spreading those pathogens or diseases around your yard. Um, Compost can be complicated, it can be hard, and we want to do it right. Once you understand it, it can be made very easy. And worms are the easiest way to do that. So we'll talk about that in the compost class. George, Phat Foodforest, biochar, look it up. Change better than holiday. Peace.